Hello everyone. Today is Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. One more week and me and my twin sister turned 37. So yeah, I guess the gang stalkers are gonna get mad at this. That a couple of targeted people had pitched in to help me with a couple of nights in the hotel room, so I was able to find a hotel room where I'm not banned from. And it's really nice here. So because of the incident with, the Marion lady at that motel, um, she she had like she thinks she runs and controls every hotel in Pensacola. That's the narcissistic thinking. So I'm not banned from here where I'm at, and since the Marion lady tried to, I mean, they didn't even have on the written rules that I read those written rules several times, and not once did they say that you couldn't no filming on a property, but they sure have hypocritically have surveillance cameras watching everything you do. So I don't even know if this hotel feels the same way. So that's why I'm recording in the dark right now. So forgive and excuse me for recording in the dark as long as you can hear me. You know, um but this is a nice clean, even though it's a little more expensive, but this is nice and clean with the pool. But I don't want to get my hair ruined, so that's why I didn't go swimming. So um I was sleepy and tired and fell asleep and went to bed at like 6:30 in the evening yesterday, and then woke up around 10 something, and then couldn't really go back to sleep. But I was able to take a nap this afternoon, and I'm still sleepy. So it's like if I if there was a way I could catch up on more rest, I can work on my books more and also the short stories. Um so I'm glad to be able to have a you know an opportunity to stay at another hotel room. That was bullshit, and Miss Mary was over exaggerating, trying to say I'm banned from 9 hotels in Pensacola when I didn't even stay in 9 hotels in Pensacola. And what goes on with other hotels is none of her damn business. She needs to focus on her tiny little motel. That's not a hotel. I mean, what I do at the Holiday Inn is none of her business. If she's at the doggone Super Six, I haven't stayed at the Holiday Inn, but I'm just using Holiday Inn as an example. So I said, well, since that incident, I'll just tweet my experiences on Twitter or something like that rather than filming people. I just document, you know. But I've been filming at that motel since last year. But I know exactly who it was. That Stars 15K person admitted that she everything dirty she does to me, she brags about it. And she got um another Twitter to try to follow me today and harass me, and I blocked her. You know, so today was one of those days where I had a pretty good day in person, but it was pretty much ruined online. And the person who runs the targeted justice website, I I thought it was Midge Mathis, but it wasn't. The person who runs it, one of the co-owners or whatever, is Susan Fortunato Olson. And when I tried to go join the Facebook group today, she got really nasty with me and said, "Please answer question." And she put four, spelled out four in all caps, like as if I'm a dummy. She said, "Please answer question four before joining the group." And so I told her I had trouble doing it, and then she told me to look at the I said, "Well, I don't see where I can go answer those questions." And so then she told me to go look at the top bar or something like that. And I said, "Well, it's directing me to something else. It's not sending me back to the questions required to join the group, because I thought I answered everything." So then she ignored me, and then I tried to ask for help again, and then she got mad and logged off. So then I mentioned about it on Twitter, and it had this guy named Howard Fisher who has the number 33. He claims to be Christian, but he might be referring to Jesus and being 33 years old. Howard F 33 AD. You know, you know, it seems like he was rude to me, like a few, like kind of saying stuff, kind of like I would tweet something and he'll say something like kind of sounding kind of smart as himself. So whenever I'm angry or upset with somebody, I end up having increased unwanted intrusive thoughts. So that's why seem kind of stuttery and kind of pause, and I don't want to accidentally blurt out the unwanted thoughts that are embarrassing. Um, so um, I figured he seemed like he was being messy because he like butted in or meddled in when I told other people on Twitter about Susan being rude to me, and then he tried to falsely accuse me of, you know, he tried to make it like as if I was lying on her, and so he tried to drag Midge Mathis into it. And I'm like, wait a minute, Midge Mathis doesn't know about this, and I never even talked to her before. But Midge Mathis, she, her account says that her website, that her Twitter page is not affiliated with the Targeted Justice website. So this guy tried to demand that I tell the truth and show evidence, and falsely accused me of lying on Miss Susan. So he like butted in and tried to justify and saying that I think he was trying to say Midge is his friend or whatever. But I'm like, would you drag her into it and she doesn't even know about it? So I blocked him, and he tried to make it like as if he proved himself right because I blocked him. Well, he didn't outright say that I was a coward or had something to hide, but he's like, "Oh, she blocked me" or whatever. Well, it's like narcissistic abusers. He's a narcissistic fake hypocrite, supposed targeted individual that you know he himself didn't act Christ like. So how can he try to condemn me and aggressively demand evidence for something that's not even directly pertaining to him, you know? So he got mad at me for blocking him, and it's like, well, Midge said that she wasn't gonna tolerate anything rude or whatever, but somebody else has said that Susan was rude to her too. And then another person, more than one person I heard say that one more than one person said that Targeted Justice website is a CIA front. Well, I didn't know that because I call myself putting my information in that database or whatever, I think. And I guess that's what they're set up for. I didn't even realize till later that I'm sitting here thinking that these websites want to help us, and people are like, well, why don't you link up with our other targeted individuals, or whatever? Like, why should I if everybody's abusive and mean everywhere I turn? And I just pretty much gave up on trying to reach out to other people, mostly, you know. So if I gave up on reaching out to other people or trying to seek help, and it, I don't know, it's like, as I said, as much hate and trouble I go through with other so-called, this community, I guess I better not show my face at the doggone rallies. You know, don't expect me to go to the fake rallies. You know, if the rallies is where all the popular fakes gather up, it's like another Black Lives Matter kind of thing. You know, the Black Lives Matter, y'all not really y'all don't really care about. It's mainly narcissistic, racist white people who pretend to fake like they overly care for Black lives. And I even asked on Twitter, I'm like, why is there so many white people um associated protesting the Black Lives Matter? I'm like, well, I see a whole more white people than black people, with these protests. This is weird, but people say that that's funded by George Soros or whatever. I don't know about all that, but um, I was talking on the phone with another targeted individual yesterday morning on a bus, and they had this guy, this boy. I'm calling him a boy because he's younger than me. He tried to This is how they, he meddled in my conversation, in my phone conversation, and then started to try to give suggestions on homelessness. And this is how narcissistic abusers do. They try to throw in suggestions that they know aren't helpful to you, and then get mad and say that you make an excuse for everything. I'm like, well, they're doing that on purpose, because I know for a fact that Loaves and Fishes does not help single women. They told me more than once. They told me quite a few times that they don't help single women. Only women with kids or men, and nearly all shelters are like that. You know, Hardly anything out here for single women, and they claim it's for funding. Well, I guess they must want us to get raped more. You know, they want us to be more vulnerable, but I guess by law they have to protect the kids. But even in Los Angeles, there was so many job opportunities, so much help for men and druggies. In Los Angeles, it was mainly the druggies who were quote unquote dual diagnosis, which was double mental health and drug addict. And then they try to force me to lie on myself, to try to say, oh yeah, you smoked a cigarette only one time back in 2006, then that's dual diagnosis. Or if you drunk a little bit of alcohol in 2010, oh yeah, that's dual diagnosis. I'm like, shut up. I mean, I don't do that now. I mean, that was just that one time or whatever. So they just were trying desperate to try to get anybody into mental health, and they were recruiting people for the fake Kedron mental health in Los Angeles for more money. Like they're recruiting people to join the mental health, like a doggone cult or something. You know. So anyway, that guy yesterday on the bus tried to falsely accuse me of making excuses and giving up too fast. And it's like he's just a random stranger, and I call myself getting worked up and mad at him and stuff. And then when I had the video that I previously posted of the Mexican lady squeezing the bottle and making noise, that's when he turned around and looked at me like I was crazy and shook his head. So he it seems like not everything I know what works for me. And that's like what people on Twitter were talking about. Oh, come live here, come live there, or go get this job, go get that job. I know what works for me and what I'm comfortable with. So just because I say that your suggestion does not work for me, and then you get upset, um, that's like if I have hypersensitive ears and you suggest that I go work at a club, and I can't go work. I can't go do work at a club if I or I can or you want me to go work at a football game, which I've done before and was freaking my ears were freaking tortured with the football games or the basketball games working to concessions. But I tried what I could and got bullied with those temp service jobs too. Um. So um, it's like I guess I don't know. Let me try to say something else. So it's like I don't know. It's like people think that I should go live at a campground, which well, how I don't have I don't I don't have transportation to get to a campground, and if I did stay at a campground, how would I get food and stuff? Um, I don't know. It's like people offering me these unrealistic suggestions. If I had a car, then I would be open to living at a campground, or if somebody donate me a van, you know. But it's like very few people are rooting for me to get help, but most people have a problem with me seeking help, and the only help they think I deserve as a punishment is mental help in a mental hospital, which is mental control and abuse, and it's not healing, you know. So if it's not healing, I don't know why they call it help in the mental hospital. That's the where everybody's pushing so far, but they don't try to push me getting housed. I mean, the housing that will make me happy. Everybody else requests donate GoFundMe donations, and people give them the money to give them exactly what they want. But I have to just take what other people want to offer. I'm not allowed to choose what I want or what makes me happy. And also I'm, still battling the sleep deprivation issues, which would make it difficult for me to be driving, you know. And it's like nobody wants me driving. Nobody want ever since my teenage years, you know. So I'm done with this topic, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.